Hey, Sarah here, coming from Portland, Oregon, with bringing a little message of surrendering. So, surrendering, what does that mean? So much of our life we try to control. And when we try to control it, a lot of us have experienced that maybe it doesn't go the way that we planned or wanted. And a lot of times when we surrender and just let life happen, life will step into place of where it's supposed to be. The lessons, the people, there's a surrendering in it. Bringing up the Eckhart Tolle today, Stillness Speaks. Sometimes surrendering means giving up, trying to understand, and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Now, for a lot of us, not knowing is extremely uncomfortable, and it takes a muscle, it's a practice to let ourselves step into the unknown. You know, when we are looking for a job or trying to find a partner, or maybe our kids seem like they're out of control. In those times, we want to grip tighter. And what the teachings are and what Eckhart is talking about is when we're able to let go and surrender into the movement and just let life happen, then life will work itself out the way it's meant to. And there's a trust there. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not meeting it halfway. It doesn't mean that we're not walking forward. It's just that we are trusting and keeping our eyes open instead of having to center into one locked in thought of how it should or is going to be. I will say I've learned this lesson many times, and in business is one of the places that I've learned to surrender. And again, it doesn't mean that I don't have my goals. I don't get my things done every day, the tasks that need to be done to have my business. But let me go back to the beginning of when I was a business owner. I did not go to school to be a business owner. I just happened to love doing business, and it was my passion from a young age. Since I was 18, I've been creating businesses. Now, when I first started creating businesses, I would have a plan, and let's liken this to climbing a tree. And I would focus on that tree and only on that tree, and I'd climb that tree no matter what happened. I would make sure I got to that goal. And maybe I got to that goal, but in that I hurt a lot of people along the way, or I fell down a few times. And let's now say that the whole time I was focusing on that tree, life was giving me an elevator to help me up, right? And that elevator would have gotten me faster into other mini trees, right? So it's very easy to center in on what we think we need to do and grip tightly. But as a lot of us have learned, that gripping tightly does not help the situation. So our little talk today is on surrendering, and really letting go and fully accepting what we don't know and giving up the struggle. And Eckhart Tolle talks about when we fully accept that you don't know, you give up struggling to find answers with the limited thinking mind. And that is when a greater intelligence can operate through you. And even thought can then benefit from that, since the greater intelligence can flow into and inspire. So when we are talking about life circumstances and situations where we are so afraid to fail or we're afraid to fall, sometimes those ups and downs bring us to the next chapter of our life. You know, how many times have you maybe lost a job that felt detrimental, but it led you onto the right path? And there's a trust and surrender in life that makes life more fun when we're not trying to control everything around it. So we're going to do a meditation today on letting go of control and surrendering. And so in this meditation, I invite you to find a comfortable spot, wherever feels good for you, trying to limit any distractions around you. You can also pause this while you do it and then hop back on and meditate with me. So when we start to meditate, if you're new or if you're familiar with meditating, the first thing that I like to center on is our senses, bringing yourself into the body. So I invite you to close your eyes, find a nice upright posture, and relax your body along that posture, really letting yourself fall into your seat, relaxing your face, your jaw, and your shoulders. Just taking a moment here to notice any sensations that apply. Noticing the sounds around you, near or far. without having to grab onto them. Noticing the air on your skin, the feeling of the seat below you. Let's take attention to our breath, to your breath. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest or the belly. Notice any tension that this breath is releasing in the body. See if we can lengthen the breath just a little more. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. You can make this a 5-second breath if you want something deeper. Taking that deep breath again, counting on your own. Nice even exhale as we start to calm and bring our body right here. Let's think of something in your life that maybe you're trying to control a little too tightly, to the outcome. Now, is this something causing anxiety and stress in your body? And is this something that you are able to practice surrendering around? And if that brought a little fear into your body, welcome it. One of my beautiful mentors, Tracy Snoyer, always says, something makes you a little bit queasy in the belly, then a lot of times it's the right path. Being comfortable doesn't get you to that next step, that next chapter of life. As we think of surrendering your chosen experience, I want you to picture what the final outcome could be of your experience. What would it look like if everything worked out? Who would be there? Where would it be? How would it feel when this outcome reached this beautiful place that you have in your mind? What would it give you the ability to do? See it as if it's happening to you right now, all around you. Notice the feelings, the people, the experience itself. As you take that imagery, sit back and just take a few breaths into it in that gratitude. And as we surrender into this image, find yourself softening into it being okay with wherever the path leads you. So a lot of times life will actually surprise you and it will be better than that image in your mind. On that next breath, we're going to inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring in that word trust. Inhale, I. Exhale, trust. Take a moment to talk to this vision and trusting as you surrender of how you're going to get there, that you can get there. Letting go of the reins and trusting. But the next step in this situation will be just where your life is meant to be. You can keep that imagery in your mind or bring your breath into I trust. As we find ourselves in stillness here, I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Enjoy your time in stillness. taking your time to bring that breath back into play. You can always spend a little more time in the stillness. Thank you for joining me today and surrendering.